it doesn't look too much better, unfortunately, for tomorrow.
Yeah. No, that really sucks. But like you said, it happens. So,
It does.
So you excited for tomorrow?
I am, man. It's going to be tough. We didn't normally qualify 1, 2, 3. We ended up 14th. We only got 2 runs in the second run.
Yeah.
We smoked the tires, so. All in all, as bad as it is to be 14th, I feel worse for the guy who's number 3 and has to race the Army car. It's a pretty tough first-round match.
Yeah. I was going to say, we right before we had actually gotten on the phone with you, we had watched a interview with you saying, you'd never like to race your car.
Yeah, that's a tough car to. We just win. We've for years been a very, very good, tough first round matchup. Man, we've lost very few times in the first round. Doesn't mean we can't. It just means we're awful good when it comes down to the pressure of the first rounds.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll get to some actual questions. So.
Sure.
All right. My buddy here, his name's Taylor Larson. He'll ask the first one.
Okay, so, how old were you when you began your racing career?
I started racing when I was 16, and I had a '86 Trans Am. Just going to the local racetrack up in Wisconsin, a place called Great Lakes Dragway, and me and a couple friends would just race. We built a faster car, a Chevelle, and then we built a Supercomp dragster. Just inch by inch, worked our way up to faster cars.
Well, that's one way to get started. That's pretty cool.
There were no junior dragsters back then. It was not in existence. So we had to do it the hard way and the way that most kids start driving cars. And we just
that's true. All right. 1 second. Whoa.
Call ended.
What? Oh God.
Technical difficulties.
We were having some major technical difficulties. We'll get him right back on the phone.
A lot of
difficulties. Oh God,
difficulties.
this is really getting. This is very bad.
This is stupid.
What happened to the line?
I don't know.
We'll see if he calls me back. If not, I'll give him a jingle back.
Ugh.
Oh my God, what is going on? Oh geez, Louise.
This thing's being stupid too.
Oh God, oh my God, this is disaster.
No, we don't have any listeners.
I'm calling him back.
You have reached Tony Schumacher.
Ah! No.
Oh my God.
This really turned into a bad thing. What is going on?
We'll be right back, everybody.
Okay, we got you back. We're not real sure what happened.
I had some serious lightning there. All the power went out.
Oh.
So it stopped my phone. It's hard to say.
Ah. I see. Okay, so...
Power's down in the hotel, so that's right.
Ah, okay. So, what was the last thing you heard me say before we got cut off?
So we just got done talking about what I was racing in, and we got cut off.
Okay. So, my next question is what was your very first class that you went into?
They called it ET Bracket 1. It was just a local racetrack, I can't remember if it was 12 seconds and quicker in the quarter mile, and I had a 69 Chevelle. That was really the first, after doing like high school drags and stuff like that. It was a class. We got and won a little trophy. I had a bunch of those things. And NA Touray was actually Super Comp, was the first class I raced at a full event.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a good class.
Cool. All right.
All right. Next question. So you raced a lot of different kinds of drag racing before Top Fuel. What was it that made you decide to make the move over to Top Fuel?
I was racing alcohol funny car, and I actually blew the alcohol funny car body off. Back then I had a Whipple supercharger, which was this monster supercharger, and when it backfires out the side of the back, and I blew the side of the body right off. I was out of parts and pieces, and I called NHRA and told them I was out of parts and pieces, and I needed some help. And there happened to be a team with two guys that called the Peak Brothers, a couple of great guys out of Denver that were looking for a driver. And so I called them and went up and interviewed in Denver and had the job, and flew back, got my fire suit, went to Denver and got licensed.
Well, that's cool. My grandpa's Chuck Haynes, and he races jet dragsters. But my favorite race of the year is actually Denver at Bandimere.
It is. It's a hard place for jets to run too. I drove the Odyssey jet drag for 2 years.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It was a great time.
Yeah, I was gonna say. He told me about that. All right. What's your favorite part of racing? Period.
Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Not when you win. Sunday morning, before you won. Before
Yeah.
you started. Just getting up and knowing you have to be good at something.
Yeah.
Everyone should be looking forward to something like that. No one wakes up and hopes they're average their whole life.
Yeah.
You know, I happen to have that cool job where I have to get up and be better than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tomorrow, Sunday morning, I'm going to hope I'm just not going to be in a boat.
That's awesome. Yeah. Okay. Next question, Taylor.
All right. Before you had a career in racing, was there something else you wanted to do for a career other than racing?
Well, actually, I was in college for marketing, for business and management, marketing, and all that kind of stuff. We have a battery charger company, and I just assumed I was going to do that. I was racing for fun, and I think I still am. Just get paid to do it, but still show up every day and enjoy it. And I think, when I was in school, I was planning on going to run a company and learn about that. So, just got took a right turn and started racing and made it fun and made it a career. And it's a great path, for the kids that are out there. It's something that's pretty darn cool. It's tough. It's a lot of work. It's on the road. You're gone. There's some dangers involved, obviously, but all in all, it's something that I dreamt of doing. And all I can tell the youth and the kids out there is that if you're going to choose a job, choose it wisely, man. Make sure it's something you enjoy, because they can't pay someone enough to drive my car. It's dangerous, and you got to love it. And why not choose a job you love? Let the payment, whatever you earn for an income, be the icing on the cake. Because you got to really wake up in the morning and want to do something. And everyone has some goal that they want to do and want to accomplish. I think the key to life is being able to find it and get paid to do it.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's really good advice, actually. So obviously we know that the sport's dangerous. We know that getting in a 300-mile-an-hour dragster or funny car, or whatever your racing period, is dangerous. What makes you keep doing it? After your wreck in 2000, what made you get back into that car?
Man, I just love racing. There's the dangers to everything, really. It's just, I understand my risk. Look, I drive the Army race car, man. I meet with guys all day today that go overseas and jump on airplanes and fight for our country. So those guys understand the risks, too. I put on a fire suit, and I put on a fire suit for one reason, in case I'm on fire, man. Things are hot. I'd much rather wear a pair of shorts, to tell you the truth. But I understand that there's a risk, and I could be on fire, so I wear that, and I put on a helmet, and I put on all the best safety equipment in the world. I got this beautiful new canopy over me. And,
oh, yeah, those canopies.
Everything I do, the canopy's not only awesome looking, but it's safe. We do everything we can. But I'd have to trade 71 trophies and 7 world champ trophies to avoid the risk. And I love the challenge of the whole deal, man. What else would you do? I think it'd be more dangerous for me to sit in an office. Heart attacks happen that way. At least out here, I'm earning my living and smiling every day.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point. There've been a lot of accidents that have taken lives, and it's just always amazes me that people get back into the car. And it shows a lot.
Yeah. They're scary cars. The reason I get back in my car, and I think most of the world can attest to this, man, I drive my race car because I have 9 guys that are so darn good at building them. I would not get back in the car if my 5 high school idiot friends were working on it. There's a time and a place to have those buddies, and building 8,000 horsepower cars is not the place. I got great guys.
Yeah.
You evaluate every risk. You look at a situation and you fix that problem. And don't get me wrong, we're going to crash another car. We'll figure out a new way to do it. We're going fast. That's what happens at 300 miles an hour. But the best thing you can do is put yourself around really good people and eliminate as much of that risk as possible.
Yeah.
All right. What is usually going through your head as you're sitting there in the lane about to race?
Some good song. Totally laid back when I'm in the car, man.
Yeah.
And really just until the car started in pre-stage, I'm usually singing a song or waving. I don't know, whatever. Just being a boy, man. Sitting in a race car, looking out at 30 or 40,000 people in the stands, wondering how did I get here? This is way too cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something that I want to make. I want to race either jets, Top Fuel, or Funny Car, or something I want to get into racing. It's something that I've really wanted to do since I was really little. So for you, what does it feel like to win a championship?
Man, we've won so many different ways, and each way was awesome. From my first championship in '99, we won by winning one race and just being consistent. We were brand new. To 2008, winning 15 races in a year out of 23, and then the next year losing my whole team and beating the team that brought me to 5 championships in a row and beating them with a new team. So many different great moments, and I think the little secret in life that I can tell everyone is adversity is what wins, getting through it, because it's easy to smile when you're running good, but
Yeah.
team building comes when you're struggling. So when you can pull a team together when it's all hard.
Yeah.
Nobody ever wakes up and dreams of their high school homecoming football game being a blowout. You dream of it being really intense and very difficult, and you're part of the situation that fixes this monumental goal that you're out to seek, and that's what we have here, man. You've got to get through those big moments, and you got to figure out ways to do it. And when you do that, it's what makes the championship special. When I said Sunday morning is the best day, that's what the championships are special for. Every Sunday you wake up and you don't know the outcome. You haven't started the day yet. It's just the beginning, and having to figure out how to cowboy up 4 times on any given Sunday and win those rounds, man, that's what makes it great.
Yeah. All right. Next question. Let's see here. So when like you said, you raced jets for 2 years. What made you, like you said, I don't know if you went straight from jets to Top Fuel or what, but what made you decide to leave the jet field?
Actually, I drove the jet car for 2 years, and during that time, I also had a Super Comp car. Actually, for 3 years, I had a Super Comp. In the last 2, I drove Wayne Knuth's Odyssey jet car, and I wanted to get back in the competition. I loved the exhibition. It was a lot of fun, but there was an opportunity. There was a funny car chassis, a guy named El Depozo, actually had gotten killed, and his car was sitting there. I said, man, I got to take that car and build it again, and it was just something I wanted to do. I wanted to get back into a blown car, and I started doing that, and really was thinking about going funny car. I never had dreamt of going to Top Fuel car, just when the situation presented itself, and I needed a job because my body was blown off in little parts and pieces. There was a dragster team looking for a driver, and it's kind of what steered me in that direction.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's neat.
All right, so this is going quite a ways back in time. But what did it feel like back in 1996 when you had qualified for your very first race?
No, he didn't. That wasn't his very first race.
What?
He
Oh, yeah, it was. No, you're right, man.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Yeah,
That was
Indianapolis, man. I just had gotten hired the week before with the Peak Brothers in Denver, and I licensed on Saturday and Sunday and flew home Monday, and they loaded the trailer up and drove to Indy to the U.S. Nationals in '96. And it wasn't only my first race in Top Fuel, but a lot of things happened at that race. We qualified 16. Blaine Johnson, who qualified number 1, got killed on the number 1 qualifying pass, and so did Elmer Trent on the motorcycle. So You know, I was like,
Wow.
here I am at my first race. It's not only the first race, but it's Indy, and I made it in this field in this brand new car, and I had never even made a full pass on a car yet. And Blaine gets killed. These guys were going to be the champs, and I was like, man, what did I just step into? It was insane, you know. But when near the end, when we were qualifying, Shelly Anderson had a chance to qualify. And if she got in, it bumped me out, and she went out there and smoked the tires. And Corey Mack actually was standing next to me, and he leaned over and he said, "Man, you're in, kid." And I thought, oh my God, I just qualified for the U.S. Nationals, the biggest race ever. Then I had to get up the next day, Monday morning, go to the track. I was first pair out. I had a single because Blaine had lost his life on that crash, and the Purdue choir, the Purdue University choir, was singing "Amazing Grace" while I was getting in the car. So, quite the way to be brought into a professional job.
Yeah, and I'm sure. I'm sure it's not an easy thing either. While you're sitting there, and I'm sure it's not an easy thing getting into the car the day after Blaine was killed.
No, it's brutal. I mean, it was just because you know the guy was awesome. Number one, and number two, you think these cars, you know, you don't want to see that at your first race.
Yeah.
Every now and then, you know, you hear of a catastrophe, but I lost a lot of good buddies now. These cars are fast.
Yeah.
You know, they're phenomenal for the fans, and they're asking a car to produce a lot of horsepower and accelerate faster than a space shuttle. The person who's going to get in them, and the person has a chance to get hurt. You just didn't expect to see it at your first race.
Yeah. Now we're jumping ahead again in time. We're kind of doing like a little timeline. But this year at Pomona, when Antron's accident happened, when he was okay, and when everyone saw the pictures and the gladness of the canopy, what was your expression that the canopy had most likely, like from what I understood, saved Antron's life?
That's a really good question. I think you guys are doing a great job with your questions right now, but I was the next car to run, and I was sitting there watching him right in front of me. He crashed. And your initial thought is, because there's no way to try a canopy out. I mean, you can't throw it out of a truck because the truck's not going 300 miles an hour.
Yeah.
You can't dump it out of a plane because that's not doing, a plane. I mean, it's something that can only fall 100 and something miles per hour. So there's no way to try it except with Antron. I didn't crash him.
Yeah.
After that happened, and we didn't do that on purpose, obviously, but you watch it and you go, all right, and then he climbs out and you go, that's it. That's exactly how it was supposed to happen. Not a piece of dust on him. He wasn't dirty. He wasn't banged up. He wasn't beat up. He was just surviving a horrific crash. And I think, at that point, of course, you still get the other drivers that are going to complain that, what if he was on fire and what if, but
Yeah.
That was the worst crash we've seen in a while. The man got out of it without a broken pinky. So that's what those cars are meant to do.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of what ifs, but like you said, like if he wouldn't have had it, it could have been a lot worse.
Well, we don't know.
Yeah.
We can only assume. We've seen people die in a lot of crashes. We can only assume that in that situation, either in the worst case scenario, he was going to get dust in his eyes, and he didn't even have that. He went in the sand trap hard and backwards.
Yeah.
And burned and covered in dust. And worst case scenario, he had some burns on him. So he had nothing, man. It was like he got out of that car and got back in the car. Not only did he not get hurt, but they took the canopy off the car, sent it in to get checked up, repainted it, and it's back on his backup car without a scratch or a nick in it.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yep. The rest of the car is destroyed. Canopy's fine.
Wow. And that's really neat because your team designed that, correct?
My team, Mike Green, actually, and Neil, and the guys that work at the top of my team have been working on it for maybe up to 10 years, trying to come up with a way to do it right.
Oh, wow.
And we got my dad, kind of approved it to go off and try it. Some of the guys that worked on the drag boats designed it initially, and then worked with my team on how to fit it. And then Aerodyne took it over and has made it what it is, you see today. But my car coming out soon, the new car is actually going to be even safer. It's going to have a Formula One tub in it. I'm going to be wrapped up, so if I go upside down, it protects my legs. All we can do is make things safer, man. There's always going to be a way to crash and die, but we want to eliminate as many as we can.
Yeah. Yeah. Taylor, you got any questions?
Well, I think I'm out of questions.
Let's see here. I'm trying to think of anything.
good ones. I do a lot of radio shows, and you kids ask some good questions, man. You did some research. I'm proud of you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
You're actually our only second interview. So for us,
Yeah, man, it'll get even better, man. It's awesome.
thanks. And so for us, it was really exciting, especially the other night when you gave me that call. It was really exciting. And when you wanted to do it, when you okayed to do it, it was a big thing. And so we really thank you for coming on. It was really, really something neat.
Man, no problem, man. When you guys get the show going and everything's going smooth, man, call me back. We'll do it again.
All right.
Awesome.
Well, good luck tomorrow. And like I said, I best to wish you. I cannot talk. Best the.
Get hooked on Sonic.
Yeah. Yeah. But just good luck.
All right, guys.
What was that?
All right, guys. Ready to call me? Thank you. Appreciate the luck, and have a great time. Just call me if you need me.
You too, Tony.
All right.
Thanks a lot again.
Thanks, Tony.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Well, that was
That
great.
was a great interview. That was amazing. I honestly, after all the technical difficulties at the beginning of the show, it went well at the end. I am
Yeah.
sweating in the studio. The studio is really, really hot in here. But man, I tell you, I am shaking because of how well that went. I can't even talk, and
You're talking.
I know. We had so many questions that actually were not even on our question sheet.
Yeah.
We had done so much research for this interview because we didn't want to do anything wrong. We wanted to make sure it was good. But, you know, it went well, and we really, really thank him. I mean, this was a huge success for us. I think it went well, and I like I said, I don't think it could have played out better. And it was a really, really neat deal, and I am proud of Jet Racing 365, and we are going to continue doing it, and we will. You know what? We're hoping we're not taking sides here, but I'm really, really hoping he's such a nice guy. I hope he'll win the championship this year. He's got a great team, and like he said, it's unexpectable for what'll happen. Unexpectable. What? Unpredictable. So, I'm pretty excited that went so well, and you know, we'll definitely have him back on the show.
Yes.
You know, I mean, I am really, really glad that he was able to come on here.